you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome guests, and especially Tatiana. Congratulations on an exemplary breaking of the ice, doing the first speech project and the Competent Communicator Manual, which is different than the Competent Leadership Manual that Carl has been talking about. These are the 10 speech projects in which, for each project, you prepare a speech based upon the goals of that project. And the goal of the icebreaker speech is to introduce the new member to the club and literally break the ice, just get comfortable with the fact that you are here giving a presentation and we are listening to you. I was impressed mostly with your voice and with your use of humor, which I think is also exemplary, especially considering the fact that English is not your first language. So it's hard enough to be funny in one's own language, and it's even more challenging to be funny in yet another. The only hint that I would have that English is your second language is simply the accent, which I'm sure that you have. Your voice is very pleasing, it projected well. You, I think, conveyed your message to everybody in the audience. The purpose was also to have an opening, a body, and conclusion, and you use notes if necessary. I didn't see any use of notes. That too was exemplary. If you did use notes, it was so inconspicuous that either that or my eyes are kind of, or both of them. Either way, it was excellent. In the body, you talked about your childhood in the Crimea, which is actually where some of my ancestors came, and your love of the water and the sea, and talking about how that was a theme that ran throughout. I was very intrigued by your title, Tumbleweed or Rolling Stone, because I used to live in the Southwest where we literally did have tumbleweeds, and of course being a fan of Bob Dylan from the early days, I was aware of a song like a Rolling Stone, which even preceded the Rolling Stones, which were now quite ancient. I appreciated your insights, though, into trying to dissect and deconstruct the tumbleweeds and Rolling Stone, and the Rolling Stone gathers no moss, and then noticing that, well, you do gather moss in the form of the attachments to the place through the people that you meet. Therefore, I learned that you like to travel, that you like the sea, you like the earth sciences, and that has brought you where you are today. Some suggestions that I have, and this will be emphasized by the second speech, I would have liked to have seen a somewhat clearer opening, body, and conclusion. They did mention that. And my suggestion on that, I would have loved to have heard the Russian saying that you alluded to. Just say it in Russian. It would be wonderful to hear that. Overall, you did an exemplary job on an icebreaker speech, and I look forward to hearing many, many more, Mr. Toastmaster.